Welcome back to Twin Destiny. It's been about 8,000 years and we've been doing other stuff, but Destiny stuff on one side of the fence, but maybe not on the other side of the fence, like we're living in adjoining houses. Adjoining? Adjoined?
Adjoining.
Adjoining, that's the word. Hi, welcome back. We love Destiny so much, it's on in the background a little bit. Right, so Twin Destiny episode 4. The last one was October last year, and oh, hold on.
Wait,
is it going to be the hymn? Do you know the hymn from Destiny?
Yes.
No, it's not the hymn. I keep. Do you ever have those days where you kind of come home from work and you just sit in front of the hymn from Destiny and you just start singing lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a bit of that again today, where I just kind of crashed a little bit earlier and the hymn came on. But I'll give examples when it comes on. It's just kind of doing its
the ambience.
Yeah, the Haloisms at the minute. But we'll come back to the good stuff. So the time away we had Jay Taylor from Cane and Rinse on the last episode, who was a fountain of knowledge. He was an ink pen of Destiny logic, and it was ace. And I hope Jay will come back. But you've been double away from Destiny, have you not? Answer.
I've been double away. Okay, let's listen to it. So I played it pretty hard with you until about the last podcast episode we did. Mm-hmm. Whenever that was, if regular listeners will know when that was.
It sounds really dramatic with the music on in the background.
Yeah, I'm trying. God, it's making me feel like I've got a real backstory now. I need to make it quite sad. Tragically, I decided
I'll turn
to stop.
Turn it up then.
Go for it, go, yeah. Be better? Okay, so tragically, I decided to stop playing just because I was getting a little bit, not bored, but a bit tired of it, if I'm honest. I'd kind of plateaued with it for a while. I didn't really have the time to give it to farm the sweet drops, as I believe the parlance is.
Because you were being an adult, weren't you? You were kind of buying a house and
and doing adult thing. Well, saying that, I don't think I was in October and November. I think I was just farting around like a twat.
Your tea drinking makes me sick. Tea.
It's tasty. But yeah, no, I decided. I was just kind of farting around, and I wasn't really getting the loot drops I needed to kind of progress. I was just doing the same thing over and over again. And there was the element of, I could just do the Vanguard stuff over and over and over again to kind of get the points, but I wasn't really getting much out of it because the weapons I had, to paint a picture, I think last time I picked it up seriously, I was level 27. This was a few months ago. I was level 27, and I'd been using the same blue, so like regular rare blue guns, for about the last 10 levels, or something like that. I had a pretty reasonably okay hand cannon. I had the best sniper I owned was a level 16 sniper rifle.
Good God, man!
Yeah, and this is me on level 27. I just hadn't had anything of note drop in like 400 years.
Yeah, but you kind of have to work for the purples and stuff and the exotics.
True.
Sort of zero at the end of the week, more or less, and kind of the fun part really was kind of launching into strikes and seeing what you got, and then building up towards that Xur stuff. The Vanguard stuff took ages to get. But,
the difficulty was with a slightly underpowered arsenal. I wasn't very well equipped to do that. Was the problem? I found that I was kind of jumping into strikes, and strikes that should have been okay. Like, I was jumping in the level 24 playlist, I think, or whichever the third one was. Vanguard Rock, I think it is, or...
Okay.
The third one. And I just found that I was having issues with it. Like, I was kind of not doing the damage that I really should have been. And I found that I was dying quite a lot, and it was frustrating more than anything to know that, you know, I should be better than this at this point. And I just hadn't had anything of any note drop, and not being able to get those drops. And just sheer bad luck, really. I mean, I'd kind of played it for a while. I just wasn't getting anything of note pop out of the machine. And I mean, the whole thing about the strange coins, you know, buying stuff from Xur. The problem was I was that sort of underpowered. I felt underpowered with my guns, that I wasn't able to do the weekly heroics or the daily heroics to get those strange coins. Like the weekly heroics. I mean, we did one a while ago, didn't we? And we just couldn't do it. We bounced off it. It was too hard, didn't we?
Yeah, but I mean, this is all new to me. I never knew you were kind of quite having these problems. I just thought that you were just
I was enjoying
doing stuff and wasn't kind of as arsed.
Yeah, well, I think that kind of plays into it. I mean, this is only after a bit of reflection today and thinking about it. So I'm thinking, why did I stop playing? And I sort of looked at the sort of gear I had when I first booted it up a few days ago. I was thinking, that's not very good gear, is it? And previous developments over the last couple of days have shown me just how underpowered I really was. Mm-hmm. Had I had a drop of the impressiveness that I'd had the last few days, a few months ago, I probably would have been playing it much more solidly from that point onwards. But so you know, it happens, swings and roundabouts, doesn't it?
So we'll get into House of Wolves stuff sort of a little bit later anyway. But
do you know what we should do, though? Do you know what we should do?
What?
My name's Paddy, and this is CJ.
Everybody knows that.
I know, but it's been so long, I feel like we have to do that, just in case. In case regular listeners of Twin Destiny, and only Twin Destiny, have forgotten who we are.
Those militant people, when I leave the house, they go, when's the next Twin Destiny? Please, Godfrey, get away from me and take your wife Teresa and treat her to something nice. She's freezing out here. I don't care if it's summer. That tent doesn't look warm. So, yeah, we'll get into House of Wolves in a little while, but do you think it was a good thing for you kind of returning that House of Wolves is kind of... I don't know, do you think the drops have increased particularly, or you've got renewed enthusiasm, or do you like the way that sort of the upgrades have kind of changed a little bit? I'm
liking the way when I've jumped in. I mean, we did a little bit of Crota stuff, didn't we? About a month ago, didn't we? Did maybe 2 or 3 nights of Crota, didn't we?
Was it about a month ago? I'm sure it was recently, wasn't it?
It was a little while ago. It wasn't over the last couple of days, but we did a little bit of
Crota
stuff.
Yeah. When you got the DLC.
Season Plus. Yeah. Thank you, unknown benefactor. And yeah, no, we popped in and it was kind of fun. Did a few of the little challenges there, and it was kind of fun to see how it changed. And then again, real life kicked in, and I moved house, and you know, you kind of the time in the evenings was very short, and Bloodborne had just come out, so I was like, well, I'm clearly just going to play that. And now I've had a chance to get that out of my system, I'm kind of relaxing back into it a bit.
Could you see at this point, I kind of thought that you just weren't asked about Destiny anymore.
I just drifted away. Yeah, I mean, it kind of like, I don't know. I think for a while I hadn't been asked for a while.
Right, which bothered me sort of greatly in a number of ways. In the fact that to sort of jump back to my own story, kind of hold on, we should have some music for that. I've turned it down, and now I've put my oh, there it is, remote control. Which bit's on?
That sounds good.
For my own story, I'd been playing Destiny pretty constantly. I won't keep doing that because it sounds a little bit like, welcome to Late Night Love. Now, Denise, you've got a very special love called Brian. Do you want to tell me the story of you and Brian? Yeah, well, he cheated on me, didn't he? There was this last fight, and she said she loved him, and she didn't love him. She just wanted him for all the money that he was earning, and he just done some overtime, and I reckon she'd heard about that. So, which song would you like to play to Brian to bring him back? Don't really care, really. I just want to tell him that he's a bastard and she's a bitch. Well, I'm not supposed to swear on radio. Yeah,
it's like Jeremy Kyle. To see a man with bad teeth sitting across from her.
So yeah, I've been playing it constantly, and we can be on rather differing shifts, can't we? Because
oh god, yeah,
you work regular hours, and whereas
working 9 to 5,
thanks,
to make a living.
Sorry.
Sorry, what happened there?
And I can work anywhere from sort of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to sort of finishing at times at like near 11.
Working 5 to 9.
No. So yeah, it's. I know we had like an amazing social experience with the first one, where we just like a lot of people, we'd put it on with our mates, we'd catch up, we'd have a laugh, and we'd shoot stuff at the same time. But for me, sort of part of Destiny was sticking a podcast on. And doing a few bounties before I went to work, if I got like a spare hour, or if I was off in the morning and stuff. If I was entertained with the stuff that I was listening to and just running around, the shooting mechanics are ace anyway. But if I was just running around and getting them bounce and stuff and getting towards weapons, and I think that's where it stacked up for me, and that's where what some people have sort of dubbed the grind was never the grind for me, because I was still having fun. And yeah, I sort of kept on going with it. I had a few ventures to the Vault of Glass with I think I went with Carl Moon on both times. Sean Bell was in there. There's a few others, and the Vault of Glass just baffled me. I thought it was amazing, but it baffled me. And there was one game where I'd been biting down on my teeth so hard I got a headache. I was like, but because you've not done Vault of Glass yet, have you?
No.
Which is something that I'd quite like to get sorted in the first instance. So
yeah, thinking about it, I mean, maybe the perceived scariness of the Vault of Glass could have been a factor in what kind of drifted me away from it, because, like I say, I did feel a little bit underpowered for it, and I thought, I'm never going to do this thing. I'm never going to get in there.
I think it's easy to feel out of the loop a little bit as well. Like when everybody's talking about the Vault of Glass, because I done it a couple of times by just saying, I think it was Jay that wrote me in, actually. He was just like, do you want to do Vault of Glass? I was like, yeah, you got in. And thankfully, kind of the people that I went in with were kind of pretty good with us being learners and not knowing quite what was going on, because it is somewhat of a head fuck. And that was really appreciated. But even after I'd done those a couple of times, there were people that I knew that were just kept on going into the Vault of Glass, and it's like I'm coming away with these amazing rewards and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, I was out of the loop with that, and I felt that degree of things, so I can see that. But it is something that I'd like us to do as part of a group, just because it is just so overwhelming and brilliant and frustrating and tremendous and all of these things.
Other such adjectives.
Yeah. So yeah. Before House of Wolves launch, there were little events around the Cosmodrome leading up to things. Big spaceship and just off the tower, and I don't know, there were little villains that you could go towards, and little bits that you could do, which got me kind of excited, because I came into that build up a little bit late, so all of a sudden there was loads of them that were there, and I was like, oh my god,
it's the same thing with the Crota build up, wasn't it, as well?
They did. They had the sort of Crota dropping in the Cosmodrome and stuff, and that was pretty sweet. I do miss that. But yeah, I was up for that. So yeah, I was really delighted when you said you wanted to kind of come back in and have a pop. Was there anything particular that made you go, yeah, we're doing that? Or was it me just going like, we're going to do some more Twin Destiny?
No. There's one very specific thing that got me back in. This will surprise no one. So, in the build-up to House of Wolves, I looked at a couple of screenshots from it, as you do, and I saw that some of the hunters were wearing gear that made them look like the Egyptian god Anubis. And I'm like, I want to be all up ons in that.
Is that what
that was
back?
it. That's
Fashion.
literally it. I am a capricious beast and fashionista. Is there a better word for that?
No, I looked at that earlier because I was thinking that.
Fashionista?
Let's launch into that now. I kind of on House of Wolves on an early mission. I got an amazing shader called Arctic Proxy, which in a statement which will isolate 99% of our listeners, looks kind of like the away shirt in Sven's first season managing Manchester City. It's mainly kind of white with tinges of Man City blue, and it looks ace. And some of the shaders I think can make you. I think your good lady wife said they make you look like action figures a bit too much. And you've seen the shader; it's belting.
It's good. It makes you look like Orbit Gum.
No, it doesn't.
It's lovely. It's white with a little blue stripe. It's
More
spearmint.
importantly, I got some amazing boots the other day called Apex Harmonic, which are kind of like these. They're almost like cowboy boots, aren't they? They're sexy little numbers. They're made for dancing.
They're infuriatingly cool when it turns out that my cool boots are like hockey pads.
Yeah, these are made for dancing and enticing the ladies or gentlemen.
Or robots.
Yeah. So you've picked up some new gear already, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I've
fashioned it
had
all.
a staggering power increase over the last few days.
Which I'm playing as Warlock on this build. What are you playing as?
I'm still using my Hunter, the only one I've ever used.
And
I've
tell
never
tales of
tried the
sexy
others.
capes.
I've just tried the Hunters. He's my guy. He's my Destiny guy. Like I don't know. I've thought about starting new characters before. I thought, well, I like my guy.
I think the thing is with other characters that I've got a hunter. No, I've got a Titan that I've been playing with my friend Ellie. And I think when you're starting with somebody else, you don't go in with your level 30 odd, do you? You start from the beginning, and all the classes do play very differently from one another. And it gets to the point where you sort of going like, where you're going to do a special and you go, it's not the one for that character. when things just sort of die. Like the other day when we were playing, I was running in, I was like, right, I'm going to do my power smash like a Titan, and I was like, I've turned gold.
That's not what I want. Oh.
So yeah, but yeah, they do play very, very differently. And sort of on the note of different characters and different classes and stuff. I do wish that the DLC was locked to a Bungie account rather than system specific, because I know the early versions of the PlayStation DLC, like if you had it on PS3, it would work on PS4 and vice versa.
Yeah.
I think if you were doing the upgrade, wasn't it, from PS3 to PS4 with the main game, it would.
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was free until January, I think, wasn't it?
It's crazy.
The upgrade. But I mean, there's been times where I've kind of quite fancied like booting this up, buying the game on Xbox One, and would quite happily go through the game again on another system. But what stops me is having to buy the DLC again. I've got a friend who's bought Destiny on PS3. I would pick up a copy on PS3 to play Destiny with her, but the DLC would still cost me again, and I don't know why they can't just have, if your character's locked to a Bungie account, you can tie your character to a Bungie account. I don't know why you can't do with the DLC, and I think that's a bit of a shame, because I'd have bought more copies of the game basically.
Yeah.
So no. So what do you think to your first? Oh, tell us about your clothes then.
Okay. Yeah. So I popped back in. I just sort of battered around, did a few bounties as you do, sat in the strike playlist for a bit. I just popped back in as you do, because I saw you had cool hats, and I sort of bandied around a bit. And I noticed that I had like a shitload of like Vanguard marks. Like, I had about 80 of them. I thought, when did I get those?
When did you get those?
I have no idea. Like, loads of them. I'm like, have I got loads?
Had you just been doing sort of strike playlists and just hadn't realised you'd been accruing them?
Maybe, because I don't remember having that many ever before. I was like, loads. So I popped over to the Vanguard guy and thought, I'll see what I can buy. And obviously, since the House of Wolves pack has gone in, they've all got new stuff. New, good purple stuff. Way better than the stuff off the base game, which is what I was, working off the last time I was seriously, leveling up. So I was able to purchase like a chess piece that was double as good as the one I had. Even more, maybe. I was like, oh, okay. And that single piece alone jumped me up, like, I think a light level, nearly 2 entire light levels from one piece of armour. I was like, okay. Yeah,
I did see, like, there was a certain point where I went, you're level 31 now, and you were like, am I?
Yeah, it's exactly that. Since over the last couple of days, I've my helmet has stayed the same. I bought the Mask of the Third Man from Xur a while ago, which is the exotic helmet, and it turns out that the purple one, the legendary one you can buy from the Vanguard Armory, is better than that, which is mad to me. But okay, I'll take it. Whatever. I have new sleeves with 2 stripes down the side because I'm sponsored by Donne. American listeners won't understand that, but anyone who's been in a JJB Sport, you'll know where we're coming from. Yeah. I've got new cool hockey pad boots as well. Really, I've just found a whole bunch of new stuff. Finally bought myself a new cloak from the speaker.
Your cloaks are sexy. I like the way that they bobble, and I mean that in a platonic way.
Thanks. Because I have 3 now. I have 3 cloaks that I'm flipping back and forward between. 2 of which I acquired 3 minutes apart and was most pissed off about.
You did get that kind of egg box thing as well from.
I got the egg box from
Crota missions,
which I think makes you look a little bit like you're in Journey, with that little sort of square, sort of roby look, kind of tied up at the top.
But you said that when we were playing, and we just ended up singing like Journey songs for like the next 10 minutes. Embarrassing
at each other.
Yeah, we did because we realised that like there was like, here we stand, worlds apart, hearts broken in two, and then he went on a bit, and it was like you, with like pointing gestures, and there was there was reaching for you. There's lots of yous in Journey songs.
I did, yeah, and on the separate ways bit, I decided to jump off the ledge. I went my separate way.
You did.
Mistake.
Your best joke.
But also, I picked up another cloak from the speaker called the Cosmic Joke, which is a bright orange one with a stag on it.
That is a sexy one.
It's exactly the kind of thing that I would wear if I could pick a cloak for myself. Like,
have you ever thought about wearing a cloak to work? I know you told me earlier that you'd done really well on your own today at work.
But imagine if you wear,
Imagine if you were wearing a cloak with a stag on it.
A bright orange one at that.
Yeah.
Do you know, with a hood as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd sell more.
Because you see, I was talking about like my my Arctic proxy shader and my amazing kinky boots, and I don't think I could wear those for work. The boots, maybe if I was wearing a trouser over the top.
Oh, you could wear the boots. You could wear the boots.
But you know that the Arctic shader might stain with coffee, chocolate, that kind of stuff quite easily.
Then you do it in your hair then.
What?
Go completely white with a little blue stripe down the middle.
I don't think Destiny works that way.
That's how shaders work, right? I'm a robot. It's just paint.
Anyway.
And the other one I picked up 2 seconds later from Eris Morn, the Crota one, was an excellent little cloak with a kind of a split down the back. Actually, I don't think it was from her. I think it's one of the new Wolves ones. Shit, I can't remember. Either way, it's got a cool split down the back, and the hood on it appears to have like sideburns. Almost. Imagine if a hood had sideburns. That's what it looks like. And I am torn between which one of my 3 cloaks is the coolest, and this upsets me.
Now you see that there are Destiny places on the internet, on YouTube, other podcasts that will be going into detail that will be like well, the new gun is called the Rhino Blogger. It sounds like you're breaking wind against an oven door, but surprisingly good in PvP. And we're all like sort of It's got a split down it, and it's got a picture of a dog on it. It looks nice. I like it.
It's orange, and I like that colour. It goes with my shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fashiony. Let's go with it. Let's commit. Fashiony. I'm all about the fashiony. Like, if my guy can look good and kill well to get at the same time, you know, we're living the dream. We're living the dream now. And since coming back. After my hiatus from it, since coming back and just finding this cool shit, like, I have felt cooler than I have in a while in the game. Like, I feel like, I'm strutting through the world now. You
are the sort of man that in a Saints Row will be happier in crotchless chaps and a cowboy hat. So it's nice to know that you're sated with actual clothes.
You know what's really bad?
What? It's true, isn't it? It's true, isn't it? That is your Saints Row character, isn't it? Somehow I know.
My Saints Row 2 character.
Somehow I know.
I had buttless chaps, a cowboy hat occasionally, and after a while I switched that out for a crown.
You see, I know you so well. So yeah, we.
Oh God, that's crazy. You know me too well now.
Before sort of launching really into. A lot of the House of Wolves stuff. We did a few bits of Crota stuff, including the battle against Omnigul, which is just fucking ace.
Isn't it good? So yeah, I thought what I'll do is I'll finish off the Crota stuff myself because.
But that's
you
not
were
true,
kind of
is
a
it?
bit higher level at that point. I thought I'll bash through it myself. I'll get through it. I can do the Crota stuff. It's a good way of getting myself acclimatised back into the game, you know, as well. Like, you know, easing back in, as it were.
Yeah, doing it at your own speed rather than me sort of pointing and just going like, why?
Come on, go this way. But I'm shooting the guy. Why is he dead yet?
It's never been like that, though, has it?
No, it's never. We've always had fun. But no, it's been kind of cool. Just it's a nice way of easing myself back into it, and especially, you know, where we have problems matching our shifts up together. If I waited until we were both free, it would have been a week before we even got started on the Crota stuff.
Yeah, that's
because our schedules don't work sometimes, do they?
Well, I think as well in the fact that in my early time with the game, a lot of the levelling up was done when, you know, I was waiting to go for work, if I was like starting in the afternoon or something, or in times when we were away. So I kind of think that could work out the other way. You know, do the same thing, crack on a podcast and have a listen while you're sort of running around and ticking off a few bounties, and it's just enjoyable. You lose yourself in the voices and the game, and that's
while
that's
we're
how
on the
I did
subject of just leveling up idly, you know, when other things are happening. This is a natural point for this segue. I experimented with remote play yesterday.
I saw this on Twitter.
Because Laura was playing Spyro the Dragon. Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon, I believe, which I think is known as the shit one. She was having a horrible time with it, and I was like, I kind of want to play a bit of Destiny, you know. I want to bash out these Crota bounties, you know, and just get them done.
Under your skin, that?
I know, right?
That's cool. I like that.
Done. I picked up the urn from Xur, which is one of those multi-part quests.
Mate, that should be called the Zern.
Well,
I know I can have a tendency to JML things up, but it seems obvious, really, doesn't it?
Do you like Xur? Do you like urns?
Then
need a place to store your creepy face tentacles.
Try Zern from JML.
Zern for men.
I hadn't quite got the have to work. Maybe the JML man just stands in front of the mirror and just like sinks his chin down and just goes and then from JML.
The mirror also has a teapot with it.
Yeah, it's channels his sales bison.
So anyway, the Vita. I thought I have a Vita. I have a PS4. I'm going to use this share play thing because everybody on the internet said apparently the controls are really, really good for the Vita. So I jumped in. First impressions, the streaming's actually quite good, you know. There's a little bit of lag, not a lot, enough to notice. Yeah, it's enough to notice, but not enough to jeopardise you doing a mission.
Yes, I mean, surely the game kind of gives you enough leeway that you can get around that, or at least get your head around it.
It does. I found on the Vita that the controls are quite a bit twitchier than on the PS3 because the analog sticks aren't as sensitive, so you have got a bit more of a sort of a freer cursor when you're trying to aim. So it did involve some wonderful times where I was trying to nail some headshots and kind of just shooting everywhere around a head, but not the head itself.
Uh-huh.
Like, just left a bit and then, Rah! No, hang on, just right a bit and Rah! The other way. Just swinging wildly like a fool. I got the hang of it eventually, but I think I was okay doing... I think I was doing a level on level 24. This was when I was about level 29. I was doing a level on about level 24. Any harder than that, I think I would have had problems. Because there is occasional bits of lag where it stutters and you catch up 2 meters ahead of where you were and things are dead. You're like, oh, whoa, what? Not often, and I think this will be dependent on how good your own internet is, definitely. But it was workable. It was definitely workable. Not the precisest. To get it properly, you really should play on the TV itself. But it worked. For what it was, it worked all right.
Needs be as needs must and all that.
Yeah, for idle bountying, more than sufficient. More than sufficient.
I'm your idle bounty, a bounty for money. Do what you want me.
It's good. So the touch screen is used for many of the functions now. So you've got your regular move and look on your left and right sticks. The face buttons, the X, triangle, square, all do the same thing. Jumping, crouching, reloading, yada yada yada. L1 or the L button is your aim. Your R button is your shoot. But instead, it puts your melee and your grenade on the left and right side of the touchscreen. So
on the front or the back?
On the front.
Okay.
Which is okay. It's okay. I had a little bit of a problem getting used to it, as you would, because you reflexively want to hit the other hand instead. But it wasn't too bad. You can get used to that. And anything on the dinklage button was the middle button. So you hit the middle of the screen, and it brings up your go to orbit, summon Sparrow, that menu.
Oh, sweet.
It's kind of good. And what else was there? Your menus on start as normal, and I believe the select button is used as your PlayStation share button. So if you want to stream your gameplay, if that even works while you're playing on Vita, I don't know.
I wouldn't have thought so, but still, it's alright for taking pictures and shit.
Yeah, button was there. So, but yeah, it was quite doable, and for just banding around doing odd patrols, nothing too serious, and leveling up, getting bounties in.
Cosmodrome sounds perfect for that, though.
It was, yeah, it was. Like I say, it was workable. I wouldn't use it for a serious run on anything, because on a serious run you need to be on it and on it and sharp, and I don't think it's quite sharp enough to keep you in the game on the harder levels, like the ones we played later. I'd have died 1,000 times, 1,000 times. But it was workable. It was good.
So we returned to action. Like together, didn't we? With the, I'm sure we did a mission beforehand, but the Omnigul one was the most memorable.
Omnigul was the one, wasn't it?
I think that level is shit hot. I really, really love that level. And in sort of true like Twin Humanities fashion, it was fun to go through the level and to see you react.
Because we went through, didn't we? We had an amazing flashback, didn't we?
Go on.
So in one of the very first times we co-opted, there's an area where I think it's the second to last mission on Earth in the regular game. It's one of the ones where you're trying to find Rasputin, I think, and the hangar doors open and this giant ship appears and things just kind of start flooding into the hangar, and you've got to defend this hangar against the Fallen that are swarming in. And your mission this time, the Omnigul one, I think, takes you through that bit again, and almost wordlessly, we fell back into exactly the same strategy we used last time.
Yeah, that was really good fun to do, because the point where it hit me was the point where it hit you at the same time, and we were both like taking different corners of the hangar doors and then moving into the centre while the other pulled away and kind of reloaded, and then taking those corners again.
Watching the corners, it was great.
But the first time that we did that was real joy. It was a proper good time, and the music sort of spiraling and stuff was that was the end of the mission on that particular one. But in this case,
just the beginning bit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and it was proper, like, it's cowboy time again, isn't it? It's just like that feeling when we did that level the first time. It is, we are a pair of cool dudes in space, chilling, maxing, relaxing, and getting each other's backs. It was great.
Well, I watched a video on YouTube yesterday with about the remaster of Halo ODST on Xbox One with the original writer of Halo ODST, and he was saying about those moments. He called them an Alamo moment, and I was like, "That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect." Yeah. So yeah, that was a really memorable moment of our own that first time, but kind of kicking on and then seeing the witches for the first time. We've seen wizards before, but seeing witches and then seeing Ommers, as she came to be known.
Oms.
Yeah. So what did you make of all of that when all hell done broke loose?
Well, all hell done broke loose. That fight against Ommers it was extreme, I would say. I mean, the strike, it's a level 26 strike, I think it is.
We dialed it up to 30 though. We hit that on 30. We did hit it on 30 because I was like, look, there's no point in going through these and just sort of trashing them off because they're really, really good fights.
Because I'd forgotten we could up the level. I was like, yeah, let's go. Oh yeah. Oh, too late. So we backed out and did it again, didn't we? Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But it's worthwhile because we were heart in mouth through all of that, and there's those great moments in Destiny where you'll go into a strike like that and somebody else will be pulled in with you, and all of a sudden there's this kind of silent kinship where it's just like, well, Bilbo Baggins 397's died, I can't get near him. Bilbo.
But we had a couple of like proper hero moments in the Omnigul fight. I remember one. There was a guy who was fighting with us whose name completely escapes me now. Let's call him Mick.
Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins then. All right, Bilbo Baggins
391. No, 391.
391. I'll write that down.
Continuity.
Where Bilbo was up fighting Omnigul up on the top bit and took an unlucky hit and crashed out like underneath Omnigul. And I was like, I've got a lot of health. Fuck it. Let's see if I can get Bilbo back. So I ran back in, hopped up on the ledge, revived Bilbo, turned around, fled. And I ran past you. You're like, you okay? Yep, just woke up, Bilbo. It worked. Running.
Yeah, you just escaped them with your arse on fire as well at that point.
Yeah, I could hear things behind me that were upset with me.
I just saw you were running, and I just saw like hot hell following you. And then just before you turned the corner, there was an exclamation mark above your head. And I was like, but those are great moments when you do feel like, can I get to you? And there's the angel and devil on either shoulder, and you just think, fuck it, I'm going for it. And some of those pay off, and some of those don't. But
particularly,
they're really cool.
Particularly halfway through the Omnigul fight, when I ran out of ammo.
Yeah,
completely dry.
They structure that level so well that there's certain points where you have to do kind of a Nutters run, a Benny Hill run around the base just to pick stuff up. And
for the most part, we were turtling a bit. We were sort of hiding near the front and kind of darting out here and there, but generally sticking to our safe zone, weren't we?
We were having to, but the enemy positions were such that
we had to move.
They stuck that lad on the ledge behind us, which was a bit of a head fuck. But I mean, Omnigul was sending in sort of all manner of things sort of after us, but and hiding herself. And when one drew her out, the other was sort of picking her off, and I got patience and time as my sniper, and it was doing some sexy damage. Plus I've got a rocket launcher which kind of explodes into other rockets when it hits.
Okay.
One way ticket 000. So when it it's billed as a vacation at the old 000. That's what it says on the screen. But when it fires, it sort of hits the target, and then there are loads of other kind of rockets that hit off and explode. And that was doing sort of hella damage as well. And we got through by the skin of our teeth, but it was fuck off fun.
Yeah, it was close. Fucking close. Because I'd been using my new main rifle at that point, and my new fusion rifle, which I'd never used before.
Because I got Murmur with fusion stuff.
Yeah, I was given Murmur from Eris Morn, which is rapidly becoming a personal favourite, simply because one of the upgrades I have on it simply is called knee pads. And I'm not sure if that means that you reinforce your own knee pads, or if the gun has knee pads strapped to it that make you slide further. I like to think it's the second.
Have you just got a Murmur then?
I got the Murmur a bit before. Yeah.
I was going to say your Murmur's probably more powerful than mine then. because I'd leveled mine up, but I've not sort of. It's only got the one by the side of it, and if yours has got the double,
I think it might.
Yeah, I've
can't
not.
Remember. Yeah,
I've not. I need etheric light to upgrade mine, and I have, as with all of my weapons, and I have no idea how you get it yet.
To be fair, I also need etheric light to upgrade a lot of them. So yeah, it's just a matter of when that comes up, it will come up. But I'm also using an item, again, another kind of gun that I had trashed off for the entire time I'd played last time. Was actually, and now I'm getting on with thinking this is quite good. I had a drop of the 55A All Fate pulse rifle, which is your 3-shot burst, 222 kind of gun.
Because you were in previous times, you were all about the hand cannon.
I'm hand cannon or nothing. I was a 1-shot, 1-kill kind of man.
Yeah.
If I point the trigger, if I point the gun and pull the trigger, I want the thing to fall down.
So what sort of turned you away from the hand cannon? Just getting more powerful stuff elsewhere?
It was so much more powerful. It was like I will be intentionally hobbling myself if I don't use this. Like, I think the hand cannon was doing something like 220 damage. I think this was starting at 350 or something stupid.
Yeah, game on.
And I'm like, well, so clearly.
So how did your playstyle evolve?
I've gotten like I'm more faster.
I understand what you mean, and so does the readership.
Yeah, my words too bad.
They're listening.
Yeah, the readership that listen, yes, of course. I found myself, I'm a lot faster now. With my hand cannon, I was going a bit slower, and I'd kind of go bakoom, 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 sort of taking down headshots. Pretty reliably headshotting things, but if I'd missed the headshot, it was kind of piddling damage, and I'd have problems with the reload. With this, if I need to, I can just kind of mash the crap out of the trigger and get a decent, almost semi-auto burst out of it. To really sort of pound the damage onto someone fast, which I found that I wasn't as good at with the hand cannon. I don't know why. I think the fact that it's a burst rifle means that it will hit, even if your target moves a bit, you'll still hit with at least one of the bullets. Which seemed to help a little bit. And I'm getting, it's got a decent-ish scope on it as well. So the iron sight aiming is pretty good. I can pretty reliably shoot a brain now.
Because I think that's why I click with scout rifles, because there's whilst there's not the the of the auto rifles and that kind of stuff, I like the fact that there's the thoom thoom thoom. It's every time I'm firing, it's a precision and it's a punch. I mean, I'm still using my multi tool, which is an exotic, which has got kinetic within its. It's sort of list of goodness, kinetic damage. So it knocks enemies back a little bit. But I love that. I absolutely love my multi-tool. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I've also found a new gun as well. Very recently.
Is this the gun that we both found?
No, differently. But we'll get to that one later. I'll do this one first. One of the things I got for doing a strike mission, I was given finally a legendary sniper rifle. After what feels like 9 years.
Oh, this was this today? Or was this on Vita?
This was yesterday on the Vita is when I got this.
This is new to me.
I'm in possession of the Chosen, which is the sniper rifle you can get from the Future War Cult.
Oh, right, okay.
It's one of their ones, so it's all done up in the kind of the blue with the FWC down the side. I really like it.
I've never thought of going there for stuff.
Neither did I. No, I was just given it. Like... It's the Future War Cult gun, and it actually.
You didn't buy it from them. It was just sort of the one that you randomly snared.
Just found one in a bin somewhere. And it's. I think every single upgrade I've got on it is one of the ones that it increases the range, it increases the accuracy, and it's got one of those stupid cartridges where when you shoot and if you kill, it will sometimes give you a bullet back. So you can just keep firing infinitely forever if you're good enough, which is great. Which is really good. It's still quite weak compared to how it could be, because I've only literally been playing with it for a couple of days now. A couple of hours even, but it's definitely becoming a favourite gun already. And it's bright blue as well, which is always a cool. I don't like a boring grey gun. Give me a big, stupid, colourful gun. Fashiony. It's all about the fashiony.
Oh dear, that's not going to catch on.
It would fashiony hashtag. That's how hashtags work, right?
Not really.
Right. Anyway, then moving on. We now both have a very, very cool weapon, don't we?
I like it because it makes me feel like I'm not sort of shooting the Destiny guns. It makes me feel like a little bit of a spy. It makes me feel like I'm like running around like James Bond in an N64 game.
Yeah.
Especially with the sound of it with that. It's great, and that's the Vestian dynasty.
Yeah. Which you were calling the Vestian Destiny for quite a while.
I was, yeah, because I'm a fool. Internet, I am a fool.
Yeah, so it's a new kind of, it's a new weapon type. It's a sidearm. It's almost like the 9mm pistol compared to the hand cannon's Magnum, isn't it?
It's interesting that normally the want for newer versions of weapons, Borderlands is guilty of this, especially is just like bigger, better, more elements, more, and this one seems almost like a cross between a hand cannon and a shotgun. But you can take Captain Shields down quite quickly, and it's just fucking fun to use. Especially in close quarters where you're just like, right, I'll use the Mighty Multi-Tool for distance, but when I get in close, and often I will purposely run in close to use this weapon, you'd be like, but also it still retains a decent amount of ammunition, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, but you say that. I mean, again, proving that the different people's drops are different. My Vestian Destiny has a whole different set of things on it. Mine can neutralise fallen captain's powers occasionally. So I can stop them teleporting and doing their stupid crap.
I think that's on the upgrade list, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in there. Because mine definitely doesn't have the shield thing on it. I've looked and it definitely does not have that on it. But I believe it's one of the weapons that you can reforge and reset the perks and get different ones. Because I've done that on my future walkout gun. Because the chosen gun that I got, so the first set of perks I got looked pretty pants. So I tried the reforge thing and got a set that looked a lot better. And it only costs like nominal amount of glimmer. A mote of light, and I think a little bit of weapon parts.
Yeah, so this one's got on the list. The weapon has a chance of suppressing a fallen captain's abilities.
Oh, there's the other. There you go.
Yeah, so it just feels like it does a little bit of kinetic damage. I don't even know if. Oh, apparently it's arc damage, but yeah, it does feel like it kind of. I don't know, just knocks them back a little bit. Maybe I'm just used to using the Mighty Multi-Tool, because that's got arc on it as well. You
can just see them going choo choo choo, and just imagine them.
I don't know. Because of the intensity that it seems to fire at, and the close quarters of the enemies. It seems like it breaks enemies out of their run quite a lot.
Okay. Mine doesn't feel like it does that. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, it might be just because I'm used to sort of Mighty Multi-Tool. So.
Maybe I was missing. It's a possibility.
I have no idea.
Okay, so this is as good a time as any. So House of Wolves has a new social area, in the Reef. What do you think about the new social area? Go.
I really like it. I really like standing on the edge and looking at all the shit in the distance, like the spaceships and the moving parts and things. But I like that it isn't just a sort of reskin of the tower, that it is genuinely different. And the one thing that you did miss on the first week is that I didn't know where Zur was. And I'd sort of I was running around in the Reef, and then I ran past a certain point, a door opened, and he was in it.
Oh wow!
And it's a door that, one of those that is just down the left-hand side that's locked. It all of a sudden opened. I was like,
that's neat.
Oh, that's cool. You can kind of plug in various sort of doobage in there, and that. Yeah. Oh, and we found baths that we could sit in. I'm not sure they are actual baths, but we did sit in opposite baths and wave at each other.
It was a delightful photograph.
What do you make of it?
I think it's amazing.
You seem to really get on with a lot of the characters, like the new guy from who gives you the weapons and stuff.
It's Varix.
Crota. Yeah, Varix. Yeah,
Varix, the fallen guy. It's simply the fact that when you open up his menu, he walks into frame from shadow.
It is weird though when you then pull out of like a weapon thing, and he will walk back in again and do that dunk with his staff, and then
I love that noise.
Go and have a look at that, and then dunk. You're breaking me.
You like to think there's maybe something on the floor that he's trying to squish, like a bug, like dunk.
Just stay there, all right.
Friggin' thing. But no, I love that particular just motion of just wandering in. Again, the mechanics of him. I've not got close to that because we don't really PvP all that much, do we? So a lot of his stuff will be probably unattainable for a while.
I don't know. I think that maybe a few bits will kick in sort of after the big thing that I can't even remember the name of now. The one where it's the Prison of Elders, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that thing. Okay.
I think
so
a lot
far,
of it kicking after that.
Yeah, haven't been able to buy a thing from him yet, but I just like going to talk to him because he's cool. Mm-hmm. I think all the guys in the Reef, they're all kind of cool. Like
he crops up a lot in conversation during the missions, although there was that really strange bit where one of the voices was like, "Your ghost is telling me," and you just thought like, is Peter Dinklage not coming back then?
Yeah.
Although I have heard that they've kind of sewn that wizard comes from the moon like back into one of the Earth strikes.
I've tried that. I've tried to go to that level that voice said on it, and I ran through it really quickly doing a bounty. I couldn't hit. It didn't play it for me.
But it was a strike. It's not a Cosmodrome.
Oh, is it a strike now?
Yeah, it's an actual strike. Well, like I think a mission down there, it's sewn into there. But that was on Twitter, and you never can trust the twits.
Twitter may have lied.
Them twits.
Didn't have enough insight. That's what it was.
Probably.
But yeah, no. Just the fact that the entire reef just pulses purple the entire time you're there as well. Mm-hmm. And the new Petravenge, I think her name is.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool name because it's basically the word revenge. Which anything called revenge is cool in my book. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, looking at you. But she's really kind of cool to talk to, and there's a decent-ish quest going on. And I think for the first time in Destiny it's the first time that I've really, really known what was going on and why I was doing the things I was doing. It's like,
yeah, I hadn't really thought of that, but it is a bit.
Yeah.
It is a bit more focused in that regard.
It spells it out for you a bit more. It's like, right, some fallen, they betrayed us, we don't like them, kill them. Like, okay.
And
cool.
There's a
Simple
kind
goal.
of momentum between each of the story missions as well. And it's nice to come back and properly get something for doing it, not just on the off chance.
Because they're dropping, like, you're getting like good gear drops on almost every mission, aren't we, as well? Like,
yeah, but not
not
even that. You're actually getting solid rewards as well as the drops. There's still, I mean, through the missions, there's still too many greens for me. For my liking for the level that I'm on. But
I mean, why don't they just give you the sapphire wire there and then? Like, why don't they just give you the weapon parts or the armor parts? There should be a button you could turn on, like auto salvage anything green.
I just think after a certain point, like if I was solidly getting blues at this point, which when you go to the Cryptarch, have the chance of being a legendary.
Yeah,
I'd be quite chuffed at that. But the constant greens at this point's an irritation. But then again, there might be in certain situations people that are lower level. But then again, if everybody going on a strike is kind of level 26 or above and stuff, maybe there should be a cut-off point where it's like, well, don't drop any greens after this point.
Yeah, and technically the greens are known as the uncommon items, and they're everywhere.
Yeah, they are. They drop like Tutti Fruitas, those bitches.
I think that's named pretty badly myself. But yeah, the Reef, thumbs up. And the fact that I've seen that you can buy the awesome Queen's ship that you see the very first time the Queen's emissary turned up in the tower a few months ago, with that awesome ship with the ribbons hanging off it. You can buy one of those to be your actual ship. Oh my giddy aunt.
I'll have me some of that.
Put it in me.
So what do you think to the House of Wolves mission that we did the other night? The one where a lot of it was in caves generally, but they threw tons at us and also scorch cannons.
Yeah, God, getting lost in those caves with the scorch cannons. There was Yeah, the bit at the end of the very first, I think it's the very first actual Wolves mission on Venus. And you end up, like you say, in a cave, and fallen wolves are dropping left, right, and centre, and you've got the new exploding shanks to deal with as well.
They're cool.
It's an almost overwhelming number of enemies, I was finding. Because you got quite lucky quite early. You found a decent little spot that was sort of working, didn't you?
Yeah, but I think a lot of that was tied into the fact that you were running all over like Billy-O. And as they were turning to go towards you, I was picking off a lot of the daddies kind of from distance. So again, chaos meets precision.
It was great.
It always works quite well.
It does. I mean, I enjoyed that, running in like a madman, using my blade, my arc blade super attack, and I've got a part of that now, which when I use that, it gives me health back, so I can just dash in and go for a bit, and then get out alive.
Well, you've got the bonkers aspect of you running around like a nutter and me picking them off, and then the point where you've done too much and you're running back like nope, 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 nope. I could kind of still distract them with sniper rifles, and they'd start coming towards me. You get your health back, and then do them sort of from behind. So
help me! Everything's red and it's all flashy, and I don't like it. But that was good because I got to pick up a fair few scorch cannons as well. And scorch cannons are fun.
They are, but you've got to get them off those captains first.
But once you've got one, generally you can get more.
Yeah.
First one's the hardest.
Again, I think it was working quite well because I was sniping and rocket launchering from a distance, and then you were going in with the scorch cannon and being Billy run around.
Billy Big Bollocks in the middle going, come on, have a go, if you think you're hard enough.
Yeah. You also got... I can't remember the proper name for it, but the mine pike.
Oh my god, the heavy pike.
That's the one.
Oh, I love the heavy pike. The heavy pike is my new favourite thing.
Because you noticed that, I mean, I tried the mine stuff out on my own, and I was like, that seems a bit chaotic, but you seem to click onto how to fire them accurately.
Turn sideways. And then use it as the way you get away from things. So it kind of shoves you sideways. So if you can kind of go pooch, 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 it fires you away, and then you can kind of rocket away to safety quite easily. Yeah. Because it turns out the pikes themselves, they can do that kind of herp, herp move. It just doesn't fire a mine.
Yeah.
I never knew that. Never knew that. So yeah, I was flying around there's a fallen tank that drops initially, like one of the walkers, and just flying around it, chucking grenades out left, right, and centre, and doing rather well, if I must say myself.
Well, again, it was a cool mixture of tactics because you were doing that, and I was kind of hiding behind a rock, sort of zooming out and then smashing into its legs. I like that they chucked a tank at you with that earlier as well. It was like, welcome to the House of Tank.
I'm wondering if Hunter's the best class to be running around in the middle of all the madness. By all accounts, from people I've heard, it is appeared to be the squishiest of the classes. So I like to play my games on a knife edge. You know, the glass cannon is what I will become.
You should buy a sofa. far easier on your buttocks.
I don't buy sofas; I just sell them. Anyway, but yes, so far, House of Wolves is getting a massive thumbs up because it's
couldn't resist it.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. At this point in time, House of Wolves is getting a massive thumb up from me as a returning player.
You sound really enthused about it, which is
it was great.
Double cool.
Yeah.
Generally, it's had a good reception across the net, barring kind of the Destructoid review, which kind of came across like he got an idea for a punchline, which was a reference to a 90s cartoon, and it was all leading up to that punchline. I can't say I cared for the Destructoid review at all.
I have not read a single review yet. I probably won't though. I'm playing it now. Who cares?
Yeah, I saw a few bits on YouTube with there was preview stuff from I think Eurogamer in particular were really excited about the Prison of Elders, but I don't know. I've not got there myself, so I can't really say.
It's going to be nice getting there together again, like getting back in the groove. But yeah, no, as a returning, from the point of view of a returning player who has taken brief flirtations since November, but nothing serious. Wow, it sounds like a dating profile. I've got to say that this the point the game's at now is a very, very good point to be jumping back in. If you've sacked it off for a while, like you should be sacking it back in again. The drops you'll get, like the armor drops, like the strike playlist, you can bash through really quickly and buy some really good armor from your Vanguard or your Crucible if that is your flavour. Like you can get yourself up to speed really quickly. Like I've gone from level 27 to 31 in about 2 days. What the hell? What the actual hell?
A lot of folks seem to have sort of jumped in quite quickly, and I think that was a criticism of the Crota DLC, that the way that you had to re-level your weapons. A lot of folks who'd already gotten weapons up to a decent standard resented having to re-level them.
Because to be fair, you've done that before. Yeah.
Whereas this time you've just got to kind of get one thing, although at this point we have no idea how to get that thing, but that will come soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Sort of, where do you think sort of Destiny lies in the public eye now?
It's a strange one because, like, I find that a lot of places sort of say that they're bored of it, but everyone's still talking about it. Everyone is still talking about it, and everyone's still like. I still go on the PSN, and I will still see a dedicated 4 or 5 people out of say 20.
Yeah.
That will always be. There'll always be at least 4 or 5 people playing, Destiny.
Well, I think this is the thing that people kind of complain about, or some people complain about on the net, where there'll be loads of Destiny articles that are still going up, and even the people that hate it go on there and go, another Destiny article. It's like, you've clicked on the page, mate. That's all they want. I mean, said before, there are lots of games that have been raved about critically, like Titanfall's fucking amazing, but nobody's playing Titanfall anymore. And yet Destiny's still had I think they were saying like 20 million people playing a day or something.
It's still got those creepy robot legs.
Yeah, I mean the press is still writing the stories and stuff. People are still playing the game, and more than that, you are getting those people who are compulsive about it. I mean, E04 Play podcaster are still raving about it, although on their latest episode there are some comments underneath the episode where people are like, I tuned in to listen to you talk about Japanese games, not Destiny. Fucking hell.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, nice, mate. It's their podcast that can talk about whatever they want. And I don't know, it's one thing I heard sort of recently, which I hadn't really thought about until that time, was the amount of kind of I don't know, kids and teens that are playing Destiny. Because whereas my friend Ellie sort of was saying that in the store she works at, she gets a lot of parents that are buying like Grand Theft Auto and all this kind of stuff for their kids, and just think and are just like, don't parent my kids.
Yeah,
and I just sort of they'll get like a Call of Duty because little Bobby's mates are all playing it and stuff. But it wasn't something I thought about at the time, but I like the thought of kind of a 7, 8, 9-year-old, like even going up to like 16, 18, whatever, just playing this really fun sci-fi shooter where they can get on with their mates and just kind of have relaxing fun, or they can run at a vault of glass, which is quite cerebral as well. I like the thought of people. I hadn't thought of how all ages Destiny was until that was pointed out to me.
Because it's big, colourful aliens as well, isn't it? Like, it's not like you're shooting realistic warmans.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I always quite liked in Halo, although that has got a touch more of the at least sci-fi military about it. But yeah, it's not something that I thought about until that time, and it makes me smile that a parent might kind of get Destiny for the kids and just be able to sit them down, and there's not really anything in there that's going to be nasty or harmful or I know. I don't want to sound like I'm kind of Mary Whitehouse or anything, but I think the game's amazing, and I think that you could, if somebody likes this sort of game, you could give it to anyone of any age, and you wouldn't really have to worry about it.
I think you're probably right. Big colourful space.
So upcoming, well, actually, while we're talking about sort of, we were talking about the press and stuff. I put a few of them tweets out on the Twin Humanities Twitter about Destiny, with regards as to whether people were coming back with House of Wolves, or if they'd just given up with the game completely, or if they'd never left, or any of that sort of stuff. So Lachlan O at Mr. Ultimate Vids said, House of Wolves has brought me back to Destiny. It's real good. El Herrera said, I've given up long ago. Peter Cleaves, the mighty Peter Cleaves, said, I stopped playing in January, came back for House of Wolves, enjoying it, but once I hit level 34 I'm likely to stop again until the Taken King, which we'll go into in a little while. Stooch237
Hey, Stuccio!
Said, I never left. I've played so much of it, and the House of Wolves has given the game such a boost. The PoE is great fun. Trials is great, and they took away the old upgrade path, so the grind isn't as much. So again, it's people that there seem to be a degree of folks that are coming back that I know found that the gap isn't too distant between where they left it off and where it is now. Plus, Stooch there didn't. He was like me, he kept on playing. Let me see what else we got. Vimesy74 said, played at launch 3 characters all above level 30. When details of the expansion came out, I realised I couldn't commit the time. Haven't seen anything that would tempt me back yet. I'm interested to hear Paddy's thoughts as a returner.
Oh well, there you go. As someone who, I put a lot of hours by my standards into it before, and I think I'm ready to put more. I'm putting more in. It's worth it.
Adam, late to the party 82, would be interested in co-oping. So we'll have to get a bit of a posse together for when we do go into the Vault of Glass. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we can go do that now, can't we?
So yeah, we'll have to raise a posse from Twitter, I think. So let me see. I think we've got a couple of latecomers, maybe. No, I think that's more or less it. But,
cool. Good feedback, pals.
Wide spectrum of stuff. Let me just make sure those are the only ones. Yes. Right. So yeah, we've got something that I presume will be properly revealed at E3 called the Taken King, and this was known previously.
What's it called? Say that again. The Taken King.
The Taken King. Yeah, it was known as codenamed Comet. For a while, because there was a piece of I presume it was from like a Bungie in-house board, which had got kind of Destiny, then 2 DLC packs, then Comet, and then 2 DLC packs. And like I said, I presume we'll get a bit more detail about this at E3, where there's new story, characters, and classes. Now I was wondering if there was going to be a Game of the Year edition of Destiny, and maybe around July time, which had sort of Destiny, House of Wolves, the Crota stuff, and that would then lead into Comet. But now I'm wondering if Comet is going to include everything that came before.
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. Like you say a Game of the Year edition, but the legendary edition of the game that came out at launch is pretty much that, isn't it? As well, though. I mean, a lot of people that jumped in on that, and I'm sure you can still pick them up around. Yeah, but then again, maybe a Game of the Year edition would be a good idea. I can't see them putting Comet into it, but I can see them bundling it together for cheap.
I think
Comet will be a 20 quid either expansion or a standalone. I don't know.
Now, you see, I thought that the Game of the Year would be July, and it would have that sort of stuff. But to me, thinking about it now, it makes sense that if somebody is picking up Comet is going to have everything that came before and the new stuff, rather than relying on somebody picking up a Game of the Year and perhaps not being able to do stuff with Comet, because Comet is going to be kind of like the next step. So it would serve them well to have everything in one place for everybody to step on together.
Yeah.
Rather than
maybe they'll
these
pull
incremental steps.
They'll pull a Dark Souls 1 with the Artorias stuff. They'll release a big pack, or they'll just release it as a disc as well. Options, yo.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the price point is and exactly what they're doing. So apparently, let me see. The Taken King as it is now, is going to include 12 story missions, 4 strikes, 1 raid, 1 new What?
4 strikes?
Yeah.
That's cool.
12 story missions, 4 strikes, 1 raid, 1 new location, and 6 new PvP maps.
Neat.
So that was tied into that original sort of board that people saw of Comet, and then there's going to be 2 sets of DLC to follow that, and then I think that will probably take them up to next year where they'll show off like Destiny 2.
So is that a new planet then?
What?
The
new location?
That's going to be a comet, isn't it?
Huh?
Is the new location going to be a comet? Perhaps.
I think this
could be cool.
In the PvP, you've got locations on Mercury, which I think was nixed on the original game.
Yeah.
And there's the new stuff. There's a kind of castle on Earth as well.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if they might tie in it to a certain degree, but yeah, I'm excited to see where they take it again. But I've heard that there's going to be brand new characters in the Taken King, and also 3 brand new classes.
What?
Yeah.
Like subclasses of other ones, or
I think brand new classes.
What?
That's exciting as fuck. If they do that, they've got to increase the character level to more than being able to do more than 3 characters.
Yes.
Because I'd like them to do more than that anyway.
People will need them more.
Yeah, because I'm sure I think it was on 8-4 Play where they said I know people that have maxed out 3 character classes and they're exactly the same character class. They've taken all 3 slots and just taken the same one and just sort of advanced them because they enjoyed doing things that much. But it's also said the other day that Destiny are being helped by High Moon Studios on a lot of this stuff as well, who did the critically acclaimed, shall we say, Transformers games.
Okay, here's a theory here's a wild speculation question for you. Okay, 3 character classes. It's gonna be new. What kind of class would you like to see?
Ooh,
go.
Let me think. Well, I think I think if we've got kind of Arc, we've got sort of Flame, and we've got sort of Void at the minute. There's the temptation that you follow through in an obvious way with something like Lightning or
like light damage, maybe.
I can just hear what's going off in your background.
Yes, that's our chinchillas. I do apologise. Shut up. Okay, shut up now. Yeah. Here's my fantasy class. A Destiny Bard. So maybe call them the Singer or something. And they use the Traveller's Light to project sound at people, or maybe buff your friends with a soothing shoot the alien kind of song. Obviously that is terrible. But yeah, give me a bard. Go on, have a bard.
Well, they've got in Vault of Glass. They've got someone that holds the relic, as it's said, which is when what can they do with the relic? They can cleanse when they can cleanse other players when the darkness envelops them. Plus, like the big lads with the shield, they can run at the shield and take that down. So it'd be interesting to see if they maybe involve the relic in the main game as well, and you could get kind of almost like a backup class like that, someone that could try and take the enemy horde on and do something different and sort of distract them from the others. That'd add something really cool. You could also, like I say, have that kind of medical class as well, but it depends if they're then veering into sort of standard territory.
I've got it. I've got it. One of the classes could be one of the tame fallen from the reef, right?
I mean,
and you can summon little goods to help you. It's the summoner, kind of, but in space.
oh, I tell you what would be cool.
Oh,
If you could, instead of, because all of your characters are kind of, you've got robot-y or we've got sort of human and that kind of variation.
space
between.
zombie.
No, wouldn't it be cool if you could play as a fallen,
I'd love to play as a fallen. I think.
or you could play as a thrall,
Ooh.
like so instead of it'd be really funny to see him in that kind of gear anyway, but. If you were kind of running along and you got like more of a shamble, and you could kind of like hit them and maybe like cling to walls, or I don't know, do something really unusual with the actual like character abilities rather than them just being kind of weapon based.
Maybe use that captain power of kind of go whoop and sort of teleporting off to the left.
I just like the thought of say being like a fallen would be really fucking cool. Or you could if they brought in things like the knights, they could weave that into the story that some of them have drifted over to the other side or whatever, and you could put up that shield like
the melee class.
The knights do.
You could have a legit melee class.
Oh, could you imagine playing as an ogre?
Oh, just hanging around in the tower
with the football. Yeah, you're just standing. You're just standing there dancing with your mate, and all of a sudden this ogre comes running down and sliding down the main bit and just knocks you both off.
Here's the important question: what dance would the ogre do?
We can only hope, we can only dream.
I hope it's the Running Man. Okay, so this batch of wild speculation was brought to you by us.
Yeah.
Cool. Have we got anything else?
I think that's all business tied up.
Excellent. Oh, good. Good. I think we covered a lot of ground there, didn't we?
I think we did.
Excellent. Right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us again. Finally, the Twin Humanities have come back to Destiny.
So you can find us at Coffee Jesus, at Paddy Stardust on Dem Twits. You can find us at Twin Humanities on Dem Twits. If you want to message us via email, twinhumanitiespodcast@gmail.com. We will listen. We will probably mention it on the podcast because that's what we're like. Drop us messages, say hello.
We've got all sorts of shows coming up in the next few weeks, so it's going to be a mixed bag, but it's going to be chaos, and that's how we work best.
Yeah, so if you are coming to the show because you like Destiny and you found the podcast, we also do two others. We do Twin Humanities, which covers Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne, and we do Oh the Humanities, which covers kind of all of the games that aren't Souls or Desters. So yeah, you'll find links to those on the Twin Humanities Twitter. So have a delve if things sound like your bag, or you just want something new to listen to. Yeah. That would be ace.
If you like it, share it, tell your friends, and take out an advert in a periodical magazine about us. That'd be lovely. Thanks.
Okay.
I imagine that open up the pages of like your mum's reading Cosmo. And then just an advert for our podcast in the middle of Cosmo. Please do that, someone.
Woman's Weekly.
Yeah.
What was there was stuff that I was it the People's Friend? The People's Friend. I'm trying to think of the really, really edgy ones that I used to deliver on paper round as a kid. The People's Friend. That always had a drawing on the front and was seemingly printed on sort of toilet roll.
Yeah. I think I'd like an advert. I'd like to see an advert in that very important fishing magazine, Total Carp.
There's not a magazine called Total Carp.
I think there is.
Really?
I'm pretty sure there is.
A magazine that doesn't cover any other fish.
I think it. Yep, Total Carp magazine.
Total Carp. Just one fish.
Yeah.
Do you think in the editorial office they're just like, so what did you have? What did you have last night for dinner? Oh, I had a bit of shepherd's pie. What do you? Oh, I went to the fish and chip shops and I had cod and don't mention cod.
Well, from Wikipedia, Total Carp is a magazine published in the UK by David Hall Publishing Limited, containing mostly articles of interest to carp fishermen.
I thought you were going to say mostly things about carp.
It's pretty much that. This is no offence to you if you enjoy the noble sport of carp fishing, but it's not really our bag.
Just carp.
Just carp. It sold more than 20,000 copies a month for the first time.
Oh, I wonder if they got a jokes page. just jokes also about carp. Carping on about this and that.
Load of old carp.
I don't know.
Anyway,
what could possibly be in carp? Total carp. Total carp makes it sound like extreme carp fishing. I just like the thought of somebody like launching themselves off the side of a ravine on a BMX and like twirling, and as the mag wheels hit the water, like carp fly out. There's some sort of lad on a skateboard that pulls a 360, 890, whatever they're called, and just as he goes around, he just lowers a bit of string with a worm in, just into the water.
See, I see it as a bungee jump.
Just pulls it. No, and he pulls up the string. Do you know what's on the end of it?
Oh, go for it.
It's a carp.
Oh!
Honestly, who knew?
Who knew?
I wonder if they'd have like sealed pages in the centre, just like, I wonder what's in the centre. It's like, this man's on a BMX and he's launched himself over the canal. That as the mag wheels touch the water, what could he pick up?
What's he possibly hooked this month?
Yeah, people are like, fuck this, what is it? It's a carp! Who knew?
Right, it's occurred to me that we are talking carp. And
no, this is fantastic. There could be like the equivalent of like readers' wives type stuff.
Oh, you can get
shut up! No. But the kind of sexual punchlines would be that his wife wandered in the room with a carp or something.
That's the punchline. No, there is a calendar you can buy. Which you could buy around the turn of the year, but you can't buy any more on Amazon because now I have a shed. I wanted a calendar for the shed. There was a calendar called Fishing Babes 2015, and it was pictures of hot ladies stood in rivers holding fish, and pretty much they looked like carp.
I love it if they were beautiful ladies, maybe wearing a swimsuit, but the head was superimposed with a fish. That would be great. No! I've made it better. Right, you've got a beautiful lady in a bikini, and the lady's got a head of a fish, and then in her fishing net is a fish with the actual shrunken head of the lady.
If you want to see this for yourself, listeners, go into Google, type in Fishing Babes 2015. There is a picture which shows you every single picture from that calendar. You will be impressed.
Don't tell people to. We'll get an email just like, I was really enjoying Destiny, and then I happened upon a copy of Total Carp in my local newsagent, and my life was changed. Now I've sold my PlayStation 4, my Xbox One, and all of my games, and I'm armed with a skateboard, a ramp, a bit of string, and as many worms as I can carry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, listeners.
No, this is good stuff. This is what everybody listening to this has really built up to. I'm trying to think of other extreme sports that we could combine with carp. Is snowboarding?
Bungee easily. You jump off with the fishing rod and you just sort of cast really hard into the river.
Or you could have snowboarding. Oh, hold on, it's here. It's the hymn.
Of carp?
No, it's this. I'll try and incorporate a carp into the hymn.
Go for it, when you're ready.
I'll just wait for my... This is the lead up. This is like the bit in the at school where you just get lead in with the piano. And I came to the river, and I got me a skateboard, and I launched off with a bit of string, And I caught a fucking cob. Good night, listeners. See you next time.
Time to say goodbye.